Я расскажу коротко о содержании видео. А дальше вы сами разберетесь, что к чему. Это происходило в городе Посодене в штате Калифорния. Опасная погоня началась около 11 часов утра. Подозреваемый разыскивался за превышение скорости и вождение автомобиля без номерных знаков. Полиция прекратила погоню, когда мотоциклист разогнался до 80 миль в час на шоссе. В какой-то момент подозреваемый превышал скорость 130 миль в час. Было замечено, как подозреваемый машет рукой полицейским вертолетом и даже остановился на заправочной станции в восточной части долины Сан-Габриэль, где и заправил свой бак бензином, прежде чем продолжить движение. По данным полиции Посодене, подозреваемый оставил на мотоцикле записку, в которой говорилось, что на нем заложена бомба. Парковку немедленно заблокировали, и на место происшествия прибыла саперная команда. Место происшествия было очищено после того, как власти установили, что в мотоцикле не было бомбы. Дальше будет комментировать комментатор телеканала Skynet 55.
Ground right now, and we really aren't in a position to try and stop this. I don't see that there's much that they could do to try to get a little attention. Was waving at the police, and that appeared that that's what it was in that situation right there moments ago, that he was just waving at the helicopter overhead because there are no patrol cars behind him. Yeah, they're no longer behind him was the point I was making, and he was swerving in and out almost like he's just enjoying riding his motorcycle. He certainly seems to have complete control of the bike. And we are still, we're in the Hacienda Heights area now. We're south of the 60 freeway, no longer on the north side. And we did see him go into what was almost like a business park there, go into the courtyard. And I saw a big parking structure, and I thought possibly, we've seen that before, that he might try and make a move there and make a run for it, knowing that there was no patrol cars behind him. But he does know the helicopter's overhead. And once again, at this point, I think they're just going to be content to follow with the helicopter. You see him in that shot. Support won't be an issue. Boy, going into a parking lot here, now this is interesting because we have patrol cars that did catch up with him when he stopped driving so quickly. And now we're in a parking lot with a shopping center, a strip mall, if you will. And you have patrol cars moving into this area. He could be locked in. If he goes behind there, if he makes a right turn, they do have the opportunity to possibly get him cornered. And boy, look, he sees the officer there. He's not going to stop, and he's just going to take off. That gives you an idea what I was saying. Yeah, definitely, but it's just so difficult for them to try and stop this with the patrol units. I mean, no matter where he goes, the bike is so maneuverable and so quick that it's nearly impossible to stop this. Yeah. Yeah, I think, Philip, this thing is going to continue on until the motorcycle just decides to stop. There's not much they can do, and he's putting himself at risk, as you mentioned. I mean, I have a bike. I don't ride anymore because it's so dangerous, but I used to. Up ahead in this intersection, there is a patrol car. I'm not sure which agency it is, but you're going to see the motorcycle come up to this intersection, and you're going to see the patrol car right there. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how they handle this. It looks like an LA County Sheriff patrol car, and they did force him to head that direction, but, he doesn't look like he's too worried about it. It almost looks like he's looking back saying, come on, catch me if you can. No, and I wouldn't think so. No, I've never seen that. I mean, more than likely, if you did it, you may, because there are patrol cars in the general vicinity, but they're not close enough to get in there that quickly to try and stop him in a situation like that. But, now he's turning around again. He's headed back to the west on Francisquito Avenue. Now he looks like, he's turning into a sidewalk. We haven't seen this before. So, boy, I wonder if he knows those people. Yeah, that's unfortunate when we see these things. If they go on long enough with social media the way it is compared to what we dealt with when we followed these entity of the suspect, but that was not the case with the backpack. So So far, this guy has not done anything to let authorities know who he may be. Now, this is interesting. Stopping in a gas station, talking to someone. Now, we haven't seen him on. He could actually be talking to people and heading to this location to meet someone, although it's possible, you know, they have those helmets that have, oh, well, look, is he going to get into that vehicle? Oh, he's stealing the gas. Look at that. He rode up to that and just got enough so that he could drive on. It didn't look like he took much on, but those motorcycles do not. Boy, look at that. I'm sure that person was frightened, too, as they pulled up. I'm assuming they didn't know that individual. Could have. And he's waving at the sheriff's. Yep. But a gallon gives you a long way. Yeah, even a couple gallons, I mean, if that much, but that's going to get them a lot of miles. You get pretty good miles per gallon if you're not heavy on the accelerator. Yeah, I can't tell how big the bike is. I can't tell if it's, you know, large cc, 1000 cc, if it's, you know, some of these bikes, even the 750s or the 600s are just so quick these days. But there was a patrol car that he went by on the roadway, and it was fairly close there. Yep. The 10. Yeah, the West San Bernardino Freeway, not far from the 605. We're in Baldwin Park, and we did see speeds up to 130 miles an hour earlier on the freeway. We'll see if he starts to travel at that rate of speed. And then also, you know, CHP may engage. If he stays on the 10 westbound for a long stretch of time, they may decide to get involved. But earlier they had just backed off. They weren't interested in trying to follow the motorcycle at those types of speeds. No doubt about that. He's got control of this bike. He's traveled very recklessly, very close to some vehicles, and he's fortunate that he hasn't been involved in an incident and got himself injured or killed. We're on the 605 northbound. I think you lost my signal around the 10 and the 605. So he got onto the 605 north. So now we're headed up, you know, up towards the Irwindale area, headed through El Monte. But we have seen some pretty high rates of speed on the freeway, you know, but he got some more gas. Maybe he was low on fuel, got himself a gallon or two, and that could keep him out on the ground units. And the helicopter gets overhead once they have him. They're not going to lose him. The only time you lose them is, you know, from a helicopter would be weather conditions or airspace restrictions, like, you know, flying in front of the extended centerline at LAX or Burbank where they have scheduled flights. You just can't do that. Yeah. Yeah. Through Monrovia towards the Arcadia, Pasadena area. Wow, look at that. Could be. We don't always know about, but they didn't follow him off of the freeway, so it may have been just a couple of patrol cars that were out. But he went through that shopping center there, It almost, Philip, it looks to me as if he's slowing, going into some areas, and actually, like I said earlier, playing a game of cat and mouse with the officers, looking to see if they're behind him. Assuming now maybe a stolen vehicle, and we are going to get back on the 210 freeway westbound now. This is a long surface street that could put him back on the 210 west or put him back into that same shopping center. But no, look at the acceleration there, and back on the 210 westbound, headed towards Arcadia and Pasadena. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He's got good control of the bike. We've never, when you do get low visibility like this, sometimes it can be difficult for us to really stay right on it. We'll see what happens as we get up ahead, but it looks like, you know, that Eagle Rock area, we got some pretty low clouds, but I haven't seen slick roadways, so it doesn't look like it's going to affect, you know, his ability to have grip with the bike on our freeways at this point. Yep. Yes, that's correct. Yep, got out of the way. Yeah, he's following behind. You know, he pulled over, he got into the fast lane, he was in the carpool lane, and then he got right back behind. But, you know, we're seeing speeds that are pretty even or close to the speed on the freeway. It's only a little bit faster. So, we're looking at 67, 70, 75, about what the pattern of the speeds are on the 210. But the other motorcycle's keeping up with him, and he's right alongside him. We have 3 of them now. Yeah, you would hope the other motorcyclists had a little more sense than to take off and follow this guy. Not all these guys out there are that crazy, and most of them, have their own health concerns at the foremost. And this guy, he rides this thing well, but we've seen several situations where one turn of a car, one little incident, and this guy may not make it. He'd be in an accident at those types of speeds. So vulnerable on a bike, you can get seriously injured or killed real quickly. Is that? All right. Does that look like, whatever you can do, does that look like there's no lights on that bike, like it's a race bike? Yeah, I mean, I didn't see any headlights. An hour, 45 to an hour. Oh, look up, take off. I see him. Hold it right here. Perfect. Hold it right here. There you go. Now go forward. Push your nose over. I saw him. Let's go left a little bit. There's nobody out there. Come left for me. Yeah, I'm looking for him. Is that it? Okay. Stop it right here. I would climb if you can. Just get a little higher. Okay, hold it right here. Just give me hold it right here for a moment and climb. Go right up to this cloud layer. You're doing a great job, by the way. Okay, let's go straight ahead. Hold it right here. Now you went back that way. So just pull it into a hover, make a right pedal turn. This is good. Go to the north a little bit. Just hold it right here, basically. You're good. Just hold it in a hover. You better go north so we're not right on top of the sheriff's ship. Keep going north. You're clear out my window. Good job. Yeah. Yeah, he did. You know, we've gone around in circles to just south of the 210 on the lake in Colorado here on Green Street now, right in the heart of downtown Pasadena. It's unclear. Pasadena PD is going to get involved. There we go. We talked about this earlier. Went into a parking structure, and that's why you want to have units behind him if you want to take him into custody, because we're into a parking structure here with a helicopter overhead. He'll be radioing for the patrol units in Pasadena to head this direction. And all we can do is keep a wide shot and see if we see the suspect come out. But I've seen several of, I believe they might be arresting someone. We did hear that. We're going to try and drift a little bit so we can get into the front, but they may have just taken the suspect into custody. There he is, I believe. That's someone. I'm not certain if it's him or not, but it could be if he got rid of his sweater. All right. Should climb a little bit if you can. I think we can go up another 50, 100 feet. Open up a little bit.